today, so I will do my best to fill her shoes. So let's from our last meeting, which was November 21st. If you want to take a look.
I'll make a motion.
Thank
We
you.
accept. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Okay, next thing that we'll move on to is my update. So first of all, Happy New Year. I hope that you've liked the new rugs that are in the building. A big thanks to our friends of Sutton Elders who have graciously and generously provided us with some new carpeting and some new flooring. Kuchar Flooring out of Manchog is the one that has done all the work, which is nice to have been able to have a local company do it, in a hometown company. Again, they've done a fantastic job. They are waiting for some flooring to go into the computer room. It is more of like a heavy-duty flooring so that you can move around the chairs on it. There won't be scraping on the floors. The reason being for flooring in there, a lot of people like to have coffee and a snack in there, whether it's computers or cards, and there's a tendency to have things spill, so this just makes it easier to clean up. So we don't have to worry about that in that room any longer. I'd like to thank Jim, our administrator, for kind of turning over one of the town vehicles for the senior center to use. I'd like to make it clear that this car does not take away from our use of Elder Bus. Elder Bus is still our primary mode of transportation. This is to supplement any needs that we have. And right now, it has been amazing for some of our folks who are on chemotherapy, who can't get to their appointments that early in the morning. They've been relying on family members to do it, to bring them in, which has been okay. But being a caregiver myself, it's kind of nice to have somebody take that burden off, which is us. So a big thanks to the use of that car right now. So again, we're not taking over Elder Bus, because Elder Bus is still handicapped accessible, and they still provide wonderful transportation and grocery shopping and trips like that. So they have been good. Tim Annis has been volunteering his time to drive the vehicle, and gas money has been generously provided by certain donors, filling it up for us. So that has been fantastic. It is a very economical car, so gas has not been an issue, really. And again, there's so few people using it. Well, in the sense that it's not driving up and down the highway all the time. Millbury Savings Bank has once again offered me $5,000 in fuel assistance for our Sutton folks in need. I fill out the paperwork and I send it to Millbury Savings Bank. They do the rest. They provide the money, they do the looking into it. I just simply fill out the application for the people who are looking for fuel assistance. It's $350 per home if they qualify for it. So that's just a nice thing that they do for our Sutton folks in need. AARP will once again be doing their taxes at the center beginning in February. I have a meeting with them today to see the days and times, so I don't have those readily available for the newsletter just yet until I meet with them today. So again, that's AARP doing tax assistance for seniors, free of charge, at the senior center. People are encouraged, obviously, to call the center and set up a time. Typically, they go right up until the last minute, until taxes are due in April. Literally last minute. On Monday, February 12th at 10 a.m., there's going to be a meeting for anyone who is interested in hiking, cycling, bicycling, and day trips. We have a wonderful, wonderful, I want to say, new generation of folks who want to hike and bike and go on trips and things like that. So they're going to be getting together. Anybody who's interested, Monday, February 12th at 10 a.m. Come on down and see if there's something you'd like to do for day trips, walking, hiking, whatever, or something in general that you'd like to see done. So on Wednesday, February 14th, that will be our volunteer recognition luncheon. We're going to be offering a pasta bar, and this is for our volunteers only. It's an appreciation for all that they do. So there won't be a congregate meal that day. Obviously, there's still Meals on Wheels, but that day is for our volunteers to recognize them for a special luncheon. So it will probably be a packed room anyhow. And again, that's a pasta bar. And for our volunteers, there's no charge for that. If you want to take a second, we can check out the February calendar. If you see any changes in there that should be made, just feel free to toss them out there. Again, on the 12th, we have the meeting for hiking, cycling, and day trips. 14th is our volunteer recognition party. We are closed on the 19th for President's Day. We have the Shine Counselor coming on the 20th. And again, for anybody who doesn't, out there in TV land that doesn't know, Shine is serving the health insurance needs of elders. So if you have any questions, or of everyone, any questions regarding health insurance, please feel free to sign up with the Shine Counselor through the Senior Center.
What time is the volunteer party?
It'll be at 11:45.
11:45.
Yes.
All right.
Yep. And we do have Benny. Benny's supposed to be here on the 16th. Benny the cat. Our therapy cat. And Wally brings the lint brush.
You have to.
Are there any questions on the director's report? Any comments, concerns?
Is the main room being floored too?
No, not the dining room. Just the computer room.
So are you going to wax it or something?
When everything is done.
Okay.
When everything is done, because it's
Really looks.
It does. The dining room floor does need to be, we took out the buffer. The buffer was out the other day. We tried a bunch of different types of wax on the floor because I don't want a slippery wax because there's so many people in there that do Tai Chi. So the one that we started to put down felt a little slippery to me and I didn't like it. So we're going to wait until the carpets are 100% finished because they do lay things out on the floor in the dining room to measure out in there. So I'll wait till that's all complete and then we'll wax up those floors.
I mentioned to you a while ago about the chairs
Yes.
in the dining area.
Yes. Yeah. We
The
have
scratching.
yes. Now
Oh,
that
yeah.
we have the little, it's difficult right now
bad
because
now.
now it's the floor is so
It's so dull.
Sad.
yes,
That's what
it's so sticky and dull. It just it's ripping off those little pads that we put on the bottom.
Yeah.
So once we get everything ready, we'll put new pads on because right now, if you sit on there and you slide, those pads are just coming off anyhow.
Now, what was it? The feet came off them?
Yes,
sliding
there's
feet
yeah,
came
there's
off?
little pads on the bottom
Yeah.
of the chairs that just help it to not scratch.
But when
The floors.
floor gets dull,
Yeah, it doesn't.
sticks there, and
Yeah.
so the pad
Yeah.
stays and the
And the chair doesn't.
you move.
Yes. so again, hopefully once we get all that done, which will be soon, we'll put some new pads on there. We do have a stock load of those pads to get ready to
It's a
do
good
it, but
thing.
yes, I think they're all going to need it. Any other questions?
Would there be a different type of pad that you could get that was more secure? Maybe check with the people that are putting the rug down?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh, the people who
I
made
don't
the
know.
chairs.
Maybe the people with the, putting the rug down would know what kind of floor wax to put on in there,
Yeah,
That's true too.
so it won't be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because they do have commercial non-slip.
Yes. Maybe there is something better that could go on the
Yeah,
bottom there.
They might have a recommendation.
Yeah. That's a great idea. Okay, I'll ask them. Absolutely. Do I hear a motion to accept the director's report?
Except,
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We'll go on to the outreach report. Clark's still doing his thing. 122 men, 264 women. Now we have to remember that these are duplicated numbers, so they're obviously not that many coming in.
The men are catching up.
The men are catching up if you look at those numbers, which is kind of nice to see. Calls, 382. Fuel assistance, 7 people. And that's not the Millbury Savings Bank ones. That's just signing up for fuel assistance. Home visits, he's done 4. Professional meetings, 2. And veterans support, 21. He works with the veterans agent in conjunction, kind of help him out as well in getting veterans and widows the support that they need. So that is what Clark is up to. Any questions, concerns?
I do know he's available for anybody that
Always, always.
has help, needs help. or
Anybody who
you
needs
think-
help.
Or you think may need help.
Yes, yep. And if, even if you just want to go in his office and sit and chat, he's just a wonderful person to just kind of unload on.
He's a person.
He is a person, so feel free to stop in and chat with him anytime. And even if you have a question, concern, something, maybe you don't feel comfortable in going to myself or somebody else, and you want to try out Clark, he's great, just a great guy. So feel free to do that. Do I hear a motion to accept the outreach report?
So,
Okay, and on to the treasurer's report. Things are still looking pretty good. Yep. Seemingly so.
now, how many months does this, is this 5 months?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
good.
Money's still in the bank for the rest of the
There's
year.
right. There's still money in the bank. Yes.
How's
Yep.
the electric working out with the, is the solar doing better?
Much better.
Yeah.
Much better. I say much better because we really haven't had a lot of snow
No.
sitting on the sitting on the.
Talk.
Right, right. I shouldn't say that.
But it's even that,
Yes.
it's the cloudy days that.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
mess
No, it's
everything
been
up, so
okay.
it's-
And
yeah.
you know, since we've had a new furnace in and insulation, I literally got 2 comments now from the oil company saying, "Do you ever need us again?" Because usually we were going through a lot, and now it's very very toasty.
Staying in the building.
Yes, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Does anybody have any questions, concerns, comments over the budget report?
Looks good.
Do I hear a motion to accept the?
Motion to accept.
Second.
Thank you. All right, and I'm going to turn it over to Gail for Friends, for the Friends report.
Well, the Friends had a very good time at the Chain of Lights. All went well. Gift baskets sold out a lot faster than we thought they would. And the food was good and went out well, and everything was sold out, so we did well. And
Nice.
we really look forward to seeing everyone that comes to visit.
Yeah.
And I believe that the hot turkey soup and the warm sandwiches kind of help everybody, but it happened to be a beautiful day, so, so it was great for everyone around. And we did pretty good.
Good.
So one thing coming up in February is our heat raffle. And we look forward to doing that. We do that every year in February. And we have a heat raffle for our seniors. And anyone who is interested in the heat raffle can get a form down at the senior center. Just fill it out and mail it in, and the drawing will be at the end of February. And the we usually have $200 for a few people during that time towards their heat.
That's fantastic.
Every little bit helps.
Absolutely.
Especially this year.
Absolutely.
Prices are going up.
Any questions for Friends? Okay. I can't think of. Anybody have any announcements? I don't have anything.
Want to give a plug to somebody?
Oh, give a plug.
All right, just so everybody knows, the tool shed that goes on Tuesdays at 10 o'clock. It's a men's group. Some ladies are allowed, Michelle only,
Thank you.
joke. It's a good exchange for the guys to talk. We do some vets information exchanging, and a couple of things we do that it's a time killer. And then we do the guest to tool time. Bottom line, meeting usually goes 50 minutes. Well, sometimes it's almost an hour and a half. So guys, if you haven't come down, come down. It's not what you might think it is. It's just a bunch of guys talking about something and learning. There's a very learned group there. I've learned some from a few people that I was very surprised. So come on down and try it.
Regarding the tool shed, I've also talked to a couple of people that I know on my meal route. And I'm trying to get a few of those gentlemen to come down,
Nice.
because it's good to get them out of the home and meet. They don't really know where to go to meet with just the guys. So I'm working on it.
Thank
I'm
you.
working with Clark on it, so
Yeah.
we'll see what we can do.
You know, if they need a ride or transportation
Right.
down there, Tim would be
Right.
more than happy to grab them, I'm sure.
I think once they get, like anything else, it's once you just start, and then you can go from there. It's that first step, it's the hard part.
Right.
I must say one other thing, bringing in the young students from the school some of those young people have learned a few things. It's like coming to see your grandmother, your grandfather, and you can leave whenever you want. The teachers, the last time we had down, they had some fun. They learned some things. It's going well, and I like to see the kids in the school.
Nice. Yeah, it's been a nice group. Thanks, Paul.
I want to know, I don't think this is out of line, if everybody's aware about the fraud squad helpline
Oh, go ahead.
that they have. I forgot the number though.
It's okay. That's okay. I can always put it in the newsletter.
Yeah, I think, because they're just getting it offline, and they really need help to get the word out
Okay.
there.
All right.
Because they've really got a lot of valuable information.
Okay.
And it's not for people, it's for everybody.
Everyone.
Whether you've been a victim of fraud
Uh-huh.
or you've got questions about it.
Great.
And it's open 9 to 4, Monday through Friday.
Wonderful. Okay. All right. Make sure that information gets in the newsletter.
Yeah,
Try and
that
get
would
it
be really nice.
Sure. Sure.
Along those lines, I'd like to give a shout out to the Sutton Police Department because they post things on Facebook regarding fraud and different things that are
Yes.
going on, just to be aware of it. And if you have any issues, to let them know. But they're very proactive about this, which
Well,
is certainly much
wonderful.
appreciated.
Well, they're in, all the police departments are in conjunction with the fraud squad.
Yeah.
They're all connected.
That's fantastic.
So
Good.
they would, go back and forth, telling people where to go.
Yep. Wonderful.
I don't know if this got mentioned the last meeting, but Michelle and I went to a program last September at the Central Mass Regional Planning Commission, I guess. And this is regarding the aging population. And we were scheduled once to give a presentation to the selectmen, and it got postponed. It has not yet been absolutely rescheduled, but this is just to make everybody aware, and I'll give you a couple of quick statistics, and I'm not going to get into the whole thing.
Yeah.
But in the population of Sutton in 2010 to 2017, the total population increased by 76 people. The population of seniors being defined as anybody 60 and over, went up by 649. So we had 0.8% went up. The town grew by 0.8%, and the senior population grew by 40. And the trend lines, and we've got numbers for 2030, which it might sound like a long ways away, but that's only 12 years from now. The whole town is aging. The whole country is aging. We just seem to be a little bit ahead of the bell curve here. But I just want to give a heads up to everybody when it is scheduled, and then I guess we'll give the full report probably to this
Yes.
group after we give
Yep.
the total presentation. But the country is aging, and the town is aging, and the number of school kids is declining.
Right.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see in the 13 years that I've been there, this how many new people are coming in, 60 and over. There are really quite a few people. Like you said, Wally, the number of people over the age of 60 has changed tremendously. I think when I first started, there were 646 people over the age of 60. And now there's
Well, in 2020, the estimate is 2,600.
that's wonderful.
Wow. Just for the record of the declining children population, I live in an area where there is a new housing, family housing. It'll be going up pretty soon because these houses have a lot of kids in them so far, and hasn't finished.
Oh,
They
that's
haven't
good.
finished growing, so.
Nice. So we better be ahead of the curve.
Gotta be ahead of the curve.
Right. We're going to be ready for it.
Bottom line is that the seniors are going to there are other issues with this. I'm just giving you numbers.
Right.
But there are other issues that the town itself is gonna have to address.
Which would
They just-
be
Housing is
housing,
one
housing, transportation.
Transportation, what I call, communications,
Yes.
meaning that can be anything, socialization, not just having people in their house or their whatever, by themselves all the time. There's a whole
Yeah, getting rid of the isolation.
Yes.
isolation, is a good word, yeah. So there's a whole bunch of things that we could think, we as a group and the town as itself is gonna have to look at. And these are things that we haven't never really been looked at, because they never really had to be looked at.
Yeah.
Just think, 100 years ago, there wouldn't be that many people over 60 to start with.
Right.
And then we had all the family thing. Everybody, grandpa lived next door, or grandma,
Yeah.
right, or in the house. or-
Everybody was like in a little
upstairs.
Yeah.
community, the
Yeah.
whole family.
Now we have people that are here, and another thing which in a general sense is, a lot of our kids that go through the Sutton schools, go to college, do not come back to Sutton. Where are they? They're in the urban areas, Boston, New York, San Francisco, Seattle. And these are just stories I hear from people their kids are in their 20s, 30s and
Which
stuff.
creates more problems.
Right.
That's a whole other issue. And then there are, some kids, but then, of course, the cost of housing here is not inexpensive. I guess that's probably. So, I don't know, just general things.
Yeah.
Just throwing this out.
Yeah, it's great information to be armed with, because every month there's a whole new batch of people that are turning 60, and that number just keeps on going up.
Yeah.
Well, that's why with the new men's club that
Yes.
they have, that's quite a thing for the seniors in our town.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
It's absolutely new, and it's
Yeah.
growing, and,
Yeah, it's refreshing to have it. So,
right.
anything else? No. All right. Seeing that there's nothing else, can I get a motion to close the meeting at 9:29?
Second?
So moved.
Great.
Second.
All right. There we have it.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.